Hey everybody, check it out. What's up? It's Hercules Porsche's professional intro. Yay!
Hey, what's up everybody? Heracles Porsche here, also known as Gildenlock, on Xbox Live, and in today's footage we will be showing you some battle station mode from the new Death Star DLC. Right now we're in Phase 1 where the Imperial team that I'm playing on is attempting to defend their Star Destroyer, and as you can see their phases are mixed in between combat, just straight up combat with the enemy team's fighters and protecting vulnerable points on the Star Destroyer every time the shields are down. So anyway, now that that little footage explanation has been given, let's talk about today's patch notes. Patch notes for today, September 20th. Star Wars Battlefront Death Star patch notes. New content for DLC owners. New levels, 5 new maps set around or on the Death Star. A new game mode battle station. A new 3-phased mode in which rebels attempt to destroy an Imperial Star Destroyer in order to clear space for a GR-75 and its brave rebel boarding party. Then these rebels participating in an assault on the Death Star in hopes of rescuing R2-D2 before, finally, attempting to destroy the Death Star itself with the help of Luke Skywalker. Now this patch also has a number of new and changed content for everybody regardless of whether you purchase the DLC. New weapons include the TL-50 heavy repeater, a heavy blaster with a secondary fire mode which launches an explosive round. And we also have the K-16 Briar pistol, a powerful blaster pistol with a secondary fire ability which allows the player to charge up a powerful shot. New star cards include the laser trip mine. It can be attached to any surface and will explode when an enemy passes it. It will also scramble the radar of any enemy that gets too close. There's also a medical droid, a stationary droid that is placed by the player. The droid will send out a healing pulse every 3 seconds and reduce the cooldown for player star cards. New heroes, we have Bosk, micro grenades. The primary weapon fires micro grenades, which are tiny grenades that deal explosive damage. Another ability Bosk has is Predatory Instincts. It changes the visuals, so you see characters' heat signatures. Bosk is also enhanced when the power is active, increasing his damage, his sprint speed, and the cooldown speed of his abilities. This ability doesn't have a cooldown and can be turned on or off any time. Another ability that Bosk has is Toxic Escape. Bosk throws down a Dioxis grenade and leaps away from the explosion in the direction in which he was moving. And finally, Bosk's trait is Trandoshan Regeneration. Bosk regenerates part of his lost health when killing enemy soldiers or doing high damage to heroes. Next up, let's look at Chewbacca, another hero who is introduced to the game. He's got abilities of his own. There are multi-bolts, doubles the amount of bolts fired from his weapon. He's got a mighty roar. Chewbacca roars and empowers himself and his allies. It'll do the following. Rebel soldiers receive the Berserker level 3 effect and increased armor for a limited time. So that's basically extra damage and extra durability for all of the nearby rebel soldiers. Friendly heroes receive increased armor for a limited time. And Chewbacca himself will do increased damage and have a little more armor for a limited time. Ground Slam. Chewbacca slams the ground, damaging and pushing back enemies in an area around the point of impact. This ability can be used while in the air. So I've confirmed it's a very powerful AoE effect, and it's basically a one-hit kill on infantry. Chewbacca's trait is Furious Firing. He will increase the amount of bolts fired from Chewbacca's bowcaster by 1 rank in the trait. So those are the new star cards, new weapons, new heroes. Let's look at the many changes that have happened to the game, starting with vehicles. There are new. I'm sure you've seen a lot of the changes in the footage here. There are new hero vehicles. Luke Skywalker's Red 5 and Darth Vader's TIE Advanced will be introduced as new playable hero vehicles on both Battle Station and Fighter Squadron. In addition to this, users will be able to spawn in as Wigmen whenever Red 5 or TIE Advanced 1 are active on the level. So Luke Skywalker's Red 5 X-Wing has the following abilities. He has shields that prevent the vehicle from taking damage for a short time, so it works pretty much like the shields you're used to. Proton torpedoes. You're used to these as well. They're just missiles that track enemy targets. And there's an R2-D2 repair, which will heal a certain amount of the ship. Darth Vader's TIE Advanced has his own abilities. He's got shields and a speed boost. I'm sure those are pretty self-explanatory. He also has a relentless assault, which will allow him to fire the main weapon more rapidly and deal bonus damage in overheat. Now you probably I think you saw a demonstration of that with my TIE Interceptor footage. Now, I'm sure you can tell in the footage, we have moved into Phase 2 of the Battle Station mode, where my team is going to be attempting to keep the rebels from taking R2-D2 off the station. Now, HUT contracts, new HUT contracts. 6 new HUT contracts have been added to the game, so of course those will relate to the blasters and star cards that I was talking about earlier. In general, soft lock on vehicles. An overheat mechanic has been added to the soft lock system. You've probably seen a pretty good demonstration of that in the start of this video's footage. And another vehicle change improves vehicle collision handling, meaning that whenever 2 vehicles collide, they will only deal a small amount of damage to each other and not instantly explode. So you will be seeing vehicles bouncing off each other, getting maybe about 20 damage each, I would say. And that'll be interesting because it'll be kind of a test of the pilots to see, you know, when they bounce off each other, to see who can kind of recover and get a sense of where the other pilot is first. So that should make a lot of vehicle dogfights more interesting, in my opinion. Alright, we have the TIE Interceptor has been changed. Missiles have been removed as an ability and replaced with a new ability called Laser Barrage. When active, the player fires without overheating for a short duration of time and deals more damage per shot. So I think you saw that in the footage too. The A-Wing. The shield ability has been replaced with a speed boost ability. Definitely, I've noticed that the A-Wing speed boost works a little different than the speed boost I've seen on the TIEs. It just seems to have a very short duration. Skirmish resolved a bug in which players could spawn as a soldier with hero abilities if they were playing co-op. Skirmish resolved an issue in which players in co-op could spawn in as the same hero if they both activated the hero token at the same time. Skirmish resolved a graphical glitch which occurred when co-op, when one player would spawn in as an AT-AT. Appearance, With the arrival of Imperial officers, the certification for stormtroopers to remove their helmets in combat has been withdrawn, so that means all stormtroopers have to wear helmets now. No more helmetless stormtroopers ever again. Most massive change ever. And so yes, we're sure there's going to be very divided opinions on that, but that is confirmed. You will never see another helmetless stormtrooper in Star Wars Battlefront again. Skirmish, the multiplayer hand can now be used in skirmish. The general fixes, they've fixed various minor issues with skirmish, various minor UI issues, resolved various spectator issues, updated the localization, and various minor audio fixes in the UI. UI, soft lock, vehicles, introduced new vehicles for the new soft lock system, updated the appearance system, and now allows the user to switch heads to the various body types. Now allows the player to filter options to the unlock and HUD contract screen. These options are active, unlocked, locked, and all. Updated the player visual health to better illustrate the boosted health that can be gained from the back to bomb. I do find that handy.
Reinforce the detention area. I say again, reinforce the detention area.
Removed an on-screen prompt for the player to be able to exit the cloud car. So I guess that will be in the Best Bin DLC only. Hero Hunt. Resolve the bug which caused some hero defeat messages to not appear in the kill log. Chat. PC looks like PC. PC? Resolve the bug in which the in-game partner chat was limited to your friends. It didn't work with automatically assigned partners. Weapon and star card changes. These are pretty extensive. Scout binoculars has reduced the cooldown with 10 seconds. Back to bomb reduced the cooldown with 10 seconds. Bunch of back to bomb changes. They added a 4-second healing immunity from the back to bomb. Not sure what that means. Does that mean we can't stack heal? We can only get a heal from the back to bomb every 4 seconds, I guess. That's what I'm assuming. Resolve the bug for back to bomb, which users wouldn't get healed if their health wasn't at 100%. Updated back to bomb updated the logic for triggering the healing effects. Players hit by the back to bomb will get 5 health periodically over 3 seconds. If players take damage during this time, all future health ticks are cancelled. Traits. Players can now equip a trait card on each of their hands, meaning you can bring 2 different traits in the battle. So be aware of that one. Make sure before you start any game, you go into your customized screen and you pick a trait for each of your star card sets, so you're not missing out on trait bonuses. And the traits themselves have been massively altered. Especially, yeah, let's go into them, because they've literally every single trait has had a fairly big stat change. So bodyguard, level 1 explosive damage reduced 30% has been changed to damage reduction. Okay, so I'm gonna do these quickly, because I think reading out all these stats would be a little obnoxious. But basically, bodyguard has been changed from reducing explosive damage to just straight damage reduction. So, for instance, it's on the base level, it's like reduces explosive damage by 30%, and now it'll reduce all damage by 10%. Alright, we have transitioned to the Death Star trench run phase in the footage, and as the Imperials, my job will be to shoot down important rebel targets that are attempting to do the Death Star trench run. Anyway, let's continue looking at these trait changes. As I was saying, Bodyguard has been changed to from explosive damage reduction to all damage reduction. At level 3 of the trait, it'll reduce all damage reduction by 50%, so that's if you go on a big streak. Bounty Hunter, it's been changed from a chance to give you power-ups to a faster card cooldown. So that's 10% on base, and that's 50% faster card cooldown if you take it to max. Berserker has been changed. It used to increase damage when hurt, and it'll now increase bonus hipfire damage. At level 1, it'll increase your damage by 15% while hipfiring. At max, it'll increase your damage by 50% while hipfiring. That's if you get a crazy streak on it. Escape Artist. Does the same thing, it's basically just had the stats nerfed. So it used to be 10% at base level sprint speed, now it's 5% to sprint speed. And at max, they stripped away the lethal melee strikes from Escape Artist, so no more crazy streaks of lethal melee strikes. But if you max it out, you'll now get 30% bonus to your sprint speed, which was actually a little faster than before, the max level. Alright. Scout does the same thing, but they've altered what it'll do at different levels. So, at level 1, it used to hide your sprints from enemy scanners. Now it'll hide your blasters from enemy scanners at level 1. And they've swapped level 1 and 2. So level 2 used to hide your blasters, and now level 2 will hide your sprinting. Level 3 has been changed on Scout trait. It used to reset your blaster heat. It'll now completely scramble enemy scanners. Sharpshooter. It used to reduce card cooldown if you got headshots. It'll now increase your damage while you're zooming. It starts at a 15% bonus damage, and level 3 of the trait, it'll increase your bonus damage by 50% while zooming. Survivalist. Same thing, they just changed what the stats are named. So, health regen used to start 25% faster. It now is changed to 6 seconds to regenerate your health. And if you max that out with a streak, that'll now reduce your health regeneration to 2 seconds. Alright, so those are all the trait cards. And how they've been changed. Let's see here. We have some changes to the heroes. Vader, okay, his force choke, people who are under the effect of Vader's force choke will not be able to use melee attacks. I've had that happen to me. I force choked someone to me and they melee attacked me. So that was hilarious. Leia has increased a bunch of Leia changes. In the Trooper Bane cooldown from 14 to 15 seconds, so very minor nerf. Increased the start damage to 50 from 50 to 53 for her E11 blaster. Increased the end damage from 25 to 35 for her E11 blaster. Leia has increased the fall off distance from 25 to 30 for her E11. That looks like a minor buff at the end there. heroes. Palpatine has increased his base lightning damage from 15 to 18, and he can now block for longer. His block time has been increased by 60%. So, Fighter Squadron and Battle Station, new power-ups have been added for both the Rebel and Imperial sides. Once activated, a group of AI vehicles will spawn in next to the player and engage in enemy dogfighting for duration of 60 seconds. So the little AI buddies you can get, you can get Y-Wings or B-Wings for the Rebels, or you can get a TIE Bomber or a TIE Defender for the Imperials. I don't even know what a TIE Defender is. Oh. Fighter Squadron, AI, A-Wings, and TIE Interceptors have been added to the game mode. Red 5 and TIE Advanced are hero vehicles in all levels. Turning Point. Resolve the bug in which players would sometimes spawn outside the map when playing Turning Point on Clouds 01. Okay. Heroes versus villains. All players are now immortal during the EOR screen and can't be killed by turrets or droids anymore. Drop Zone. For private matches, the player count has been changed to 12 players. Okay. Stats and progression. We've almost wrapped this up here. Bosk and Chewbacca have been added to the diorama. Ranks increased from 70 to 90. Appearances, new visual unlocks have been added. They now have stormtroopers with pauldrons. There's now an X-Wing pilot. There's now a Death Star trooper. And there we go. And HUD contracts resolve the bug in which Scout Pistol and Scattergun wouldn't track towards various contracts. Achievements resolve the bug in which a New Hope achievement would not trigger when playing Walker Assault. Okay, there you go, guys. You've got your footage of the new Battle Station mode. You've got all of your patch changes. And I believe I have covered everything. And remember, I always welcome all of your feedback. And I hope this has been a really great run through for you guys on everything that you can expect from the DLC and the patch. Don't be shy about subscribing and watching the channel, because I will be attempting to get footage of all kinds of new Death Star stuff for everybody. And until next time, everybody, I shall see you Starside.